just isn't working. Sorry, hi, I'm TVTravis, and sometimes I just want to make this ball float in the air like a drone. Hey Sora, make this ball float in the air for me like a drone. Well, that's not what I wanted either. Ever since I was a little kid, I've wanted some kind of person to do all of my stuff for me that I didn't want to do. You know, all the responsible things like my taxes, taking care of my health insurance, fixing my car for me, taking out the trash, doing my food for me so I don't have to exert the effort. Just always wanted somebody I could boss around and tell what to do, like a minion. That's what I want, is a minion, but not in like a evil way or anything, maybe a little, but mostly just something or someone to do my stuff for me. That was like the promise of all the sci-fi books I grew up reading. Someday technology will just do everything for us. And that's why I've been developing the Travis, a robot designed to do all your chores, free up your time, and never put up a fight no matter how rude you are to it.
I lost my family because of you! I hate you!
Travis, you sack of shit. Bring me the prop for the next part of the video. Something I didn't realize when I started this project though is humanoid robots are hard. So why am I obsessed with making one? This is not a new question or topic. This is actually something that Marques Brownlee brought up at the end of his video about the Neo robot. You know, the new humanoid slave robot that for whatever reason comes in black. Now Marques, who is black, makes a very loaded statement at the end of this video. There's a little bit of subtext I think you might be able to pick up on.
And also, I'm not even sure it has to be human-shaped, but that's another argument for another video.
Travis, where's that prop? I'm at this section of the video. You'll have to forgive me. I'm still working out a few kinks in the software and hardware. Still at the phase where I'm training the AI on real-world tasks. It hasn't quite learned how to do everything yet, so I've got a guy in the other room controlling it with a VR headset. Hey, Francisco! The fuck's happening over there? All right, let me kill time by planting a quick question in your brain. What kind of person is an early adopter of a $20,000 humanoid robot? Keep in mind, this thing is untrained. It can only perform like basic tasks like answering a doorbell or taking a cup out of your hand or doing this weird wiggle dance. And oh, perfect timing. Thank you.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. Just get the f out of here. It's not like you did that on camera or anything. Watch the door. When engineers design robots to look like little guys, whether they realize it or not, it's not just an engineering choice that they are making, it is a psychological choice. It's easier to anthropomorphize a humanoid robot than like a Roomba. When you apply human traits to non-human objects, like googly eyes for instance, they become easier to empathize with. Eyes are the gateway to the soul, after all. They activate these things in our brain called mirror neurons.
That creates a neural representation, a neural map of my intention in your head.
Which I first heard about in the book Wired for Story by Lisa Cron. She's a neuroscientist and author. In her book, she says that mirror neurons are like the thing that gives us empathy. When we interact with another person, they attempt to mirror what the other person's brain is doing and put us in their shoes. Now, my competitor, the guy who made the Neo robot, brought up his love of like the Jetsons.
You could do like rotate a robot, helping the family have more time for things that they actually value in life.
Coffee, orange juice, biscuits.
You've done it all, Rosie. What makes you so terrific anyway?
It's my lifestyle, Mr. J. I'm programmed to be user-friendly. Oh, what a jewel she is. And she never complains.
I don't know about you, but the only Jetsons episode I remember is the Place for Everything and Everything in Its Place episode where Rosie the robot goes crazy.
Place for everything and everything in its place.
I can't believe this.
Funny how memory works. Now, speaking of the Jetsons, I went to school for animation, not electrical engineering. Maybe that's why I can't figure out any of this electronics stuff. Anyway, while I was in school, my teacher Jacques put together one of the most profound lessons I've ever been taught in my life. He brought this pencil into class and attached some googly eyes to it.
Ah, hello. I'm Frank.
And then we spent like the next half hour applying human traits to Frank. Like, Frank has a wife and 2 baby pencils, and every morning he gives himself a shave to keep himself sharp. He pays his taxes and has a dog. We like Frank. Then Jacques gave us all a shock and snapped Frank in half. Oh, clean break. Uh-oh. I got Frank's eye stuck to my hand. That's the power of anthropomorphization, and it's the basis behind why you like cartoons, cute animals, pencils with googly eyes, furries, and anything else that can have human traits applied to it. My favorite example is like the Greek gods being anthropomorphized concepts. Anthropomorphizing something makes that thing get treated like a human. And there's two types of people out there. People who treat others like they'd want to be treated themselves, and people who treat other people like tools. Now, robots are tools, so early adopters of my Travis robot are really going to enjoy bossing them around day one. It's maybe the biggest perk. Now, the former group though, in a sec we're gonna get into what it means to form a parasocial relationship with a tool.
Tinkering, yes. Of course, yes. I am the electrical engineer.
It'll have to do. Bossing around a human-like machine is, morally complex. It's fairly normal for people to feel satisfaction from authority, especially when it doesn't, you know, carry the weight of human subjugation. Here's something to think about. People talk a lot about mental offloading in AI, where using it as a substitution for thinking is robbing us of our ability to learn and retain information properly.
There is a residual negative effect of using AI. The more you use artificial intelligence, the worse your actual intelligence becomes. There are new studies constantly popping up over the last year that show that higher AI use is linked to lower levels of critical thinking and learning ability.
The same can be said for moral offloading. What happens to our brains when we regularly direct humanoid machines to do menial tasks? Personally, I don't know. I kind of feel like we might start to lose some of our empathy triggers that we have when we interact with other human beings. This is like an inadvertent trope of some of the technologically advanced alien species you see in sci-fi stories. They often come off as like cold and detached and tethered to logic like a machine. It's like they've evolved to kill off a bunch of those all-important mirror neurons. It's like growing evidence that your proximity to these wild, life-changing technologies that make your life so easy that you don't even need to think directly impacts your ability to empathize with people. And of course, access to technology is tethered to your socioeconomic status. In addition to a wealth gap, AI is also creating an information gap between like the wealthiest people and the poorest. Unfortunately, humanoid robots like Neo or my Travis robot are only going to be available to the hyper wealthy for the foreseeable future. As Marquez said in his video about the Neo robot, early adopters are buying into the opportunity to train this for future models. Just like everything AI, these slave robots only serve as a tool to free up more of their time to make more and more money to further increase the class gap. It's just a way to get more power. On the trajectory we're headed economically, like the world over, no average person or small business is going to be able to afford one of these things. You and I will not see the benefit of these things for like a decade. Google, Apple, Amazon, they might, but not the little guys. Think about what that does to like the training data on these things too. If they're only trained on these weird mansions that are empty and devoid of things, how are they gonna navigate a normal person's space? I don't know about you, but I have like more than nothing on my walls. Sometimes I got stuff on the floor. My Travis robot is so good at cleaning up spaces that are already clean, you're gonna lose your mind, as well as your privacy. These robots are toys for the rich, which is why we should talk a little bit more about the aesthetics of my competitor, the Neo robot's launch video. You ready? Yeah, I'm vibing out hard. This otherworldly detached music is deliberately devoid of human emotion. Honestly, it's probably AI. What emotion are we feeling here? I'm gonna call this like technological transcendence? This is the music that my brain would make in a sensory deprivation tank, floating, dreamlike, numbing my ethical concerns by teleporting me to a psychic fantasy realm. Isn't it kind of unsettling how every space in this video is like pristine and devoid of lived-in qualities? That's because these aren't homes. They're stock photo sets you'd find when searching for minimalist mansion on Shutterstock. Minimalism is, of course, the aesthetic of the technologically wealthy. Apple really kind of set the standard with that one. For tech guys, perfect order creates perfect harmony and is a result of perfect hierarchy. The visual emptiness creates the perfect background to introduce our servant character, Neo, and his very blonde owner. All right, let's talk about the color options for the Neo robot. Quick, which color do you think Elon Musk is gonna pick? You know what? Nah, this is so obvious and self-explanatory. I don't even think I need to make a segment about this. Why'd they make it in black? All right, so I want to close this video out by making the argument that how we treat and think about an AI isn't too dissimilar from how we think about and treat dogs or pets in general. But specifically dogs. We make them do menial tasks for us and form bonds with them. But here's the difference between an AI and a dog. Dogs provide us unprompted expressions of love and affection. Dogs, to me, embody what humans value in companionship: authenticity and mutual vulnerability. You can connect with a dog because you know it's feeling and thinking something in there. No matter how authentic or realistic a humanoid robot gets, there's just something about it being a robot where it's like nothing it ever does is gonna be unprompted. Somebody had to account for like every behavior that it does. My Travis robot's never gonna like pee in the corner of your house or chew up your furniture. I haven't programmed that functionality into it, and I don't know where it would ever learn that behavior. I mean, I can program that in if you want. Here's the other thing that I think a lot of people overlook when it comes to humanoid robots. I don't really question a dog's affection. One of the things that this reporter that did the one-on-one with the Neo robot and its creator in like a live setting said that she received a hug from it, and it did not feel natural at all. And why would it, right?
6'7", 6'7".
When something nearly human or displaying close enough human-like qualities that it could pass for human attempts like intimacy, it gets creepy. It falls into the uncanny valley. You're always aware that like something is off. Like take the movie Her, for instance. No matter how realistic Scarlett Johansson's voice gets.
Hello, I'm here.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Samantha.
She's just a little device, programmed to imitate companionship.
Is that weird? Do you think I'm weird?
You seem like a person, but you're just a voice in a computer.
Maybe my problem is just that I know that the company that built the robot is harvesting that data and training other robots on it. Like the personal interactions that I have with this robot are then gonna go fuel other interactions that other people have with robots to get as close to like simulating humanity as possible. All this leads me to the same question every single time, like to what end, right? All right, say we get a sexy enough humanoid robot that it'll tell Elon Musk it'll always love him and never leave, and it's like close enough for him that it'll like stand in for reality. Okay, what have you done at that point other than like create the perfect simulation? When I'm interacting with a dog, I'm not simulating an interaction with another living thing. I'm like literally doing the act. The word simulacra, I believe, was first used to describe like a statue of a god. Simulacra is like a Play-Doh thing? Not like Play-Doh, but Plato. God and gods exist beyond reality. There's so much more than any physical thing could encompass. Like looking at a statue, yeah, that's a depiction of Zeus. But Zeus is an embodiment of concepts themselves, where humanity is just one form through which his divinity refracts reality. An all-knowledgeable and all-powerful Mecha Zeus would still never hold a candle to like Zeus the god. Where was I going with that? I don't know. Anyway, corporations are gonna harvest your data with these robots by simulating emotions and doing tasks for you that slowly swap your reality out for a simulated one. Honestly, I think for me, the big blocker is actually the fact that it's stealing the data about me. Personally, I look at what's happening with like Palantir and the flock cameras and the internet privacy stuff, all the data that they're trying to collect. That's the thing for me that I think would prevent me from ever truly trusting a humanoid robot. It's like, yes, it might do all these amazing things. It might do my chores for me. It might make my life easier. But at what cost? Like, what is the cost of convenience? In my last video, I went to that CJ the X show where they talked about the book Immediacy by Anna Kornblum. So I went and read the book and it was very interesting. And she talks a little bit about convenience and like what it's doing to us psychologically. At what point does the cost of convenience turn into a violation of your fundamental human rights? Like, where do you personally draw that line? Some people would love to have a Rosie the robot that does everything they don't want to do and just lets them be lazy.
And she never complains.
Whatever. I can't deny wanting the same thing myself. How do you fight back against the megacorp that wants to harvest all your emotions through a $500 subscription to a humanoid robot that's monitoring you in your house all the time? You don't get it. You don't buy it. It's not a technology you need. Like CJ said, if you put some distance between the thing that you want and where you're at currently, i.e. going and taking out the trash, There's like intrinsic value to that distance. There's something you get out of going out the front door and doing it yourself. Now, am I saying that every task needs to be like 10 times harder than it is? No. I use an AI tool to chop VO for the videos that I make because it saves me like honestly hours. But I don't let it like edit my videos, right? I still do that myself because if I didn't, then it wouldn't be my video. It would be a simulation of a TVTravis video, not a TVTravis video.
Bring the car into the light, slide it up to mark B. Perfect.
Car's in.
Looks great. All right, camera A ready?
A is rolling.
B, rolling. And action. Woo! Cut. That is beautiful. Car looks fast. Smile looks real.
Anyway, this is a long and off-topic rant just to say that, I don't know, I could see like a Ray Naylor sci-fi book where the most vulnerable members of society, like old people, become dependent on relationships with these robots that can get like shut off with a missed payment. And speaking of Ray Naylor, I'm gonna be talking to him again in January for an upcoming video about his latest book, Where the Axe is Buried. I don't know, if you want to join the unofficial TVTravis book club by liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in a VR headset while I'm doing your chores. And now, I think it's finally time to show off my robot-seeking baseball drone. Travis, get into position! You ready, bud? Am I human yet?